Good morning. I'm here to explain today's assignment. It says over the next 3 days, you will be spending time each day looking more closely at the pieces of evidence to support the theory of evolution. You spent the past 2 days kind of going over the big picture ideas of the 5 pieces of evidence. So we're going to be spending the next 3 days kind of going and delving a little bit deeper into a couple of those pieces of evidence. Today, you'll look at the biochemical evidence or DNA, protein, amino acid evidence, which basically just means how similar are the DNA sequences of humans to other organisms. This will allow us to compare the sequences between humans and other organisms to determine how closely related they are or how recently they share a quote unquote common ancestor. You'll hear that lingo a lot over the next couple days. You will also complete a bar graph in Google Sheets, and I'll go through that with you on how to create that bar graph. And then you'll turn in both the doc and the graph as a lab grade. Okay, so I'm going to open up the document right here. And what's important for you to know, we talked about a couple units ago about DNA. DNA is essentially our sequencing in all of our cells, which is found in the nucleus. You also have proteins and amino acids that kind of make up that DNA strand. Okay, it's kind of like the building blocks. So if you look here on your document, it gives you a little bit of background, which I'm not going to read word for word, but it tells you a little bit more about proteins and amino acids and DNA that will kind of help you. And then you're looking at specifically the cytochrome, which is a protein found in our blood, and they're comparing it to the human. So if you look right here, it says chimpanzee is 0. Okay, so there's no differences between the chimpanzee and the human. There's 29 differences with the fruit fly, 12 for the horse, 14 for the rattlesnake, 1 for the rhesus monkey, and 21 for the tuna fish. So if you continue, you'll answer these respective questions based on what you know, 1, 2, and 3. Now, this next part, I want to kind of go in a little bit more detail. So these are the list of the amino acid sequences. So if you look at the human, it says human hemoglobin amino acid sequence. You have these are all abbreviations for the amino acids. So you're going to go through and you're going to highlight any differences that you see. So your human hemoglobin sequence, you're just going to leave that be, right? But for the gorilla, we're going to go through and you're going to go up and down with your eyes, and you're going to see, is there any differences between any of these amino acids? And if you look right here, this is arginine and this is lysine, or the 3 letters are different. So you're going to highlight that, go up here and hit highlight, any color you want really. Okay, and that's the one difference. Then you go back up to the kangaroo. Now you're not going to compare the kangaroo to the gorilla. You're going to compare the kangaroo back to the human. So again, this one, if you look here, is going to be different. Okay, so we're going to go up and we're going to highlight that. Same. Oh, here's a difference. Okay, so on and so forth. Okay, so that's how you're going to kind of do that part. A lot of students need help with that. So hopefully if you're watching that is clear to you. Then you're going to go through and you're going to count how many differences are there. So when we compared the human and the gorilla, there was only 1 difference. So in this chart, you're going to write 1. Okay, and then you're going to do the human and the kangaroo, so on and so forth. So that's kind of how you do that part. Now, once you have this data, you're going to need to do a bar graph. So I'm going to click over here to your Google Sheets. X out of these 2 alerts. And you're going to write in those numbers. And I'm just going to hypothetically, I'll do 1, 2, 4, and 10. They're not the answers, but that's what you do. In order to create a bar graph, you're going to highlight from corner to corner, as you can see. Then you're going to go up to Insert, and then you're going to go to Chart. Takes a minute to load. And then it's going to give you options for which chart you would like to do. You can also go over here and click this button. There we go. And then you can do a column chart. That's basically the best one. And then you're going to go over to Customize. And you can kind of change the colors. You can change the title. I would change the title because it's not really descriptive. I would do something along the lines of comparison of human and other organism. Well, it's really giving me issues today. Okay, just be descriptive and specific. You can see here, these are your units about how many differences, that's your pair. And then you'll just, you can X out of this and then it will post. Okay, so that's your graph. You can also look over here to this other tab down at the bottom. I also gave you a example for you to go back to. And then don't forget you have a couple questions that you'll need to answer as well that go through based on the chart. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. And then you should know a lot about these, but if you need to research them, you can, or just Google them. So does a human have a spinal cord? Okay, so that's the case. So you put a little X. Do humans have hair on their bodies? They sure do. Okay, are they mammals? Yes, so on and so forth. So put a little X or a check mark if that organism has those traits and those features, and then you'll kind of go through it that way. Okay, so I wanted to give you a demonstration of today's assignment, or little directions to help you for both the Google Doc and the Google Sheets. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to your teacher. Have a great day.